Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the University of Adelaide graduation ceremony. This morning's ceremony is for graduates from the Faculty of Sciences. The ceremony will commence very shortly. The university has employed a contract photographer to take photographs during the ceremony. If you wish to take your own photographs, we ask that you would do so discreetly from your seat. To maintain the ceremony's decorum, could you please switch off your mobile phones? And for safety reasons, we would ask guests not to enter the side galleries or to sit on the steps of the balcony. Finally, in the event of an emergency, please follow the instructions of the security officers and the ushers. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in a moment I'll ask you to stand for the academic procession which is about to enter the hall, and then to remain standing for the singing of the Australian National Anthem. You're encouraged to join in the singing, and the anthem is printed on page 2 of your graduation program. Please rise for the academic procession.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. A land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare.
I, Diane Davidson, Deputy Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, declare open this congregation, convened for the purpose of presenting degrees. Distinguished guests, parents, relatives, friends, and especially graduates, welcome to this special graduation ceremony for the University of Adelaide. I wish to acknowledge the Kaurna people, the original custodians of the Adelaide Plains and the land on which the University of Adelaide's campuses at North Terrace, Waite, Theberton and Roseworthy are built. Graduates, this is a day of real celebration. This event is a special one in which you and your family and friends can take great pride. It is also a source of pride and satisfaction for the University of Adelaide. Graduation Day is an opportunity for you all to reflect both on your past and on your future. And this day may well be a very significant change in the direction your lives take. Whatever that direction might be, the skills you have acquired and developed here, the friendships you have made, the colleagues you have worked with, will all stand you in good stead, not only in your working and professional life, but in everything else you do with your lives. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the graduation orator for this ceremony, Professor Gavin Begg. Professor Begg is the Research Chief of Aquatic Sciences for the South Australian Research and Development Institute. He took up the position in February 2012. He is also an affiliate of the University of Adelaide. Prior to his move to South Australia, he was the Assistant Secretary for Fisheries and Quantitative Sciences at the Commonwealth Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry. He also led the Bureau of Rural Sciences, Fisheries and Marine Sciences program and was a Senior Manager at the Australian Fisheries Management Authority, Principal Research Fellow and Program Leader at the CRC for the Reef Research Centre and CRC Torres Strait at James Cook University, and Research Scientist and Postdoctoral Fellow at the Marine Research Institute in Iceland and the National Marine Fisheries Centre, Woods Hole, USA. He has wide experience in the assessment and management of marine fisheries and ecosystems. He's led Australian delegations to numerous international fisheries meetings and provided integrated scientific and economic advice, data and assessments to support government priorities and policies. He's also involved in a range of advisory committees where he contributes to the shaping of fisheries and environmental research, policy and management outcomes. Professor Begg received his PhD at the University of Queensland and a Bachelor of Science with honours at the University of New South Wales. We're privileged to hear him speak today. He has a wealth of experience from which we will all learn. Please join me in welcoming him.
Deputy Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor and President, distinguished guests, members of staff and you, especially the 2013 graduates. It is a great privilege to be here today and to have the opportunity to say a few words. Although I must admit, when I was first contacted, I was a little unsure what to say, or words to that effect. But I soon started thinking about my own graduation and the people, places and the opportunities that I have encountered throughout my career as a scientist. And I can truly say that the path ahead of you is one filled with opportunities and challenges and the potential to make a difference and do great things. When I was thinking about going into science, I was given many reasons that questioned my resolve to follow such a career path, and in particular marine science. Career advisors thought there were no jobs, no money, no opportunities. Basically, you had to be kidding if you wanted to be a marine scientist. Probably not all that much different from what some of you have probably been told over the course of your very early career. My uncle, who was a great mentor to me and an ecologist in his own right, happened to mention that it would take nearly 10 years of study before I was finished. I was more concerned about this than the fact I wouldn't find a job. He, however, proved to be right, not so much the career advisors. The fact that you are here today and graduating with your degree or your PhD is evidence that you have also shown the fortitude in moving towards your goals. A career in science, whether that be in physics, chemistry, biomedical sciences or biology, provides you with a wonderful opportunity to do amazing things. I have had the opportunity to be involved in researching recruitment dynamics of Icelandic cod in the Arctic Circle, to understanding the connectivity of reef fish in Torres Strait. I've been on a 60-metre research vessel on George's Bank in the middle of winter in the North Atlantic, to a 5-metre commercial tinny bobbing around the Great Barrier Reef in 40-degree heat. I'm still not sure which one I enjoyed most. I've been on a small island in South Korea negotiating international fisheries quota until 5 in the morning, and only last week was involved in launching a new $20 million scientific initiative for the Great Australian Bight. I've worked with government ministers and policy makers, from those who thought scientists were a pain in the butt to those that truly saw the value in the power of science and evidence-based decision making. My 6-year-old son asked me the other day what the best job in the world was, and I told him mine, although I still think that he reckons being an Avenger wouldn't be too bad. When I was completing my honours, an old professor of mine told me that the degree, and in particular a PhD, would be a passport to the world with endless possibilities. He couldn't have been more right. In science, you have the opportunity to pursue a career that can open up a range of possibilities, one filled with ongoing learning and one where you can make a difference. It is really up to you as to how much of a difference you want to make. Be prepared to follow your aspirations, continue to work hard and build on your efforts to date. Listen to those you value, seek mentors and back your judgment and capabilities. Challenge yourself, seek opportunities, think about what gets you out of bed in the morning. Be courageous, be persistent. Never be afraid to ask questions, to challenge the norm, to continue to learn and push yourself. And when asked for a scientific opinion, be frank and fearless in your advice. I drive my wife crazy at times because I'm always questioning her. My response, well, I'm a scientist. Einstein once said, "Learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow." The important thing is to never stop questioning. This certainly could not be more true for a scientist. Never stop questioning, and perhaps even more important, seek to find solutions. You have taken the first step in a career path where science can provide fascinating, challenging, and diverse opportunities, one that many others do not. Your degree is your passport, and no matter what you do, a fundamental part of you now is your training and education as a scientist. I have found a career in science is not just a 9-to-5 job, but an ongoing vocation of learning and opportunities. Good science and good scientists are invaluable for society in going forward to meet the many challenges we face, such as dwindling natural resources, balancing delicate ecosystems with competing industries, climate change, food security, and the need for medical, energy and technological advancements. And I encourage and challenge you to be part of the solutions to the many challenges that face us. Congratulations to you, the 2013 graduates. Enjoy today and look forward to the future, where I wish you well in your future studies and careers. Thank you.
On behalf of the graduates and their families attending this morning's ceremony, I would like to thank Professor Gavin Begg for his stimulating and inspiring address. We are honoured that you have taken the time to join us on this special day and share with us your thoughts and experiences. Your words of encouragement and advice are greatly appreciated. They remind us that education places upon each of us an enduring responsibility to make the best possible use of our talents and to contribute to the betterment of society in whatever way we can. Please join me in once again thanking Professor Gavin Begg.
Deputy Chancellor, in 2009 the University established the University Doctoral Research Medals. These medals are awarded to graduates who have completed outstanding research at doctoral level. This award is the premier award for doctoral candidates at the university. I, Professor Warren Bebbington, Vice-Chancellor and President of the University, present to you the winners of the 2012 University Doctoral Research Medals. For research in the field of bioscience, Gi Quinn Kai. For research in the field of physics and astrophysics, Benjamin Whelan. Deputy Chancellor, every year the University presents University Medals to acknowledge the most outstanding graduates in each faculty who have completed an undergraduate honours program or a bachelor program of at least 4 years duration. The University Medals are awarded to them for their consistently outstanding performance across the whole of their undergraduate studies. I, Professor Bebbington, Vice-Chancellor and President, present to you the winners of the 2012 University Medals from the Faculty of Sciences. Sophie Hollitz. And Finn Stokes.
I will now receive the candidates for degrees. I call again on the Vice-Chancellor.
Deputy Chancellor, I, Professor Warren Bebbington, Vice-Chancellor and President of the University, certify to you and the whole University that the graduates who will be presented to you have all fulfilled the conditions prescribed for admission to the award for which they are so presented.
I, Diane Davidson, Deputy Chancellor of the University of Adelaide, by virtue of the power committed to me by the University, confirm that each graduate is admitted to the rank and privileges of a holder of the award in the University of Adelaide for which they are so presented. I call on the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Sciences to present the graduates.
Deputy Chancellor, I, Professor Robert Hill, present to you graduates from the Faculty of Sciences. Sean McColl is a graduate of the University of Adelaide. After gaining his PhD in cell biology, he spent 2 postdoctoral years and 4 years on faculty at the University of Laval, Quebec City, Canada. He then spent 2 years as a research fellow at the John Curtin School of Medical Research before returning to Adelaide. He is currently Professor of Immunology and Director of the Centre for Molecular Pathology. His research interests are directed to understanding how the movement of cells in the body in health and disease are controlled by a large family of molecules called chemokines.
His laboratory has a particular emphasis on understanding the roles played by chemokines in providing the body with resistance to infection and in development of cancer and autoimmune diseases such as multiple sclerosis. To the degree of Doctor of Science in the Faculty of Sciences for a thesis entitled Regulation of Cell Activation and Migration by Chemotactic Factors, Sean Roos McColl. Robert Fink graduated with a PhD from Griffith University in Brisbane in 1986. He was then appointed as a Sandoz Neuroscience Fellow and Assistant Professor, University of California, San Francisco, for 2 years, and followed this with a Queen Elizabeth II Fellowship at James Cook University in Townsville in 1988, and he was subsequently appointed to an academic position there. Professor Vink joined the University of Adelaide Department of Pathology in 2001. In 2005, he was appointed as the Foundation Chair of Neurosurgical Research, and in 2006 was appointed as the University of Adelaide's inaugural Head of School of Medical Sciences. Professor Vink's research was the first to identify magnesium as a critical injury factor in central nervous system injury, and he went on to characterise the protective role that magnesium plays as a treatment for various conditions of the brain and spinal cord. His recent book entitled Magnesium in the Central Nervous System, published by the University of Adelaide Press, has been downloaded over 15,000 times in just 18 months. His research on substance P has identified the neuropeptide as a central factor in brain swelling following traumatic brain injury and stroke, and has established substance P antagonists as the first pharmacological intervention that reduces brain swelling following acute brain injuries. To the degree of Doctor of Science in the Faculty of Sciences for a thesis entitled Uncovering the Critical Roles of Magnesium and Substance P in Central Nervous System Injury, Robert Fink. To the degree of Doctor of Philosophy for a thesis entitled The Role of the Atypical Chemokine Receptor, CCX-CKR, in thymocyte development and its influence on the link between innate and adaptive immunity through regulation of dendritic cell migration, Mark Daniel Bunting. For a thesis entitled The Role of CPSC in the Regulation of Streptococcus pneumoniae Capsular Polysaccharide Biosynthesis, James Peter Byrne. For a thesis entitled Design Studies for a Multi-TeV Gamma Ray Telescope Array, PEX-PEV Explorer, Jared Peter Denman. For a thesis entitled A Stabilised Master Laser System for Differential Absorption LiDAR, Alex Dinovica. Alex also receives the honours degree of Bachelor of Science. For a thesis entitled Regulation of Eukaryotic Transcription by BH-LH PAS Transcription Factors AHR and ARNT, Nan Howe. For a thesis entitled The Structural and Thermal Properties of Avian Cup-Shaped Nests, Cara Bridget Heenan. For a thesis entitled The Importance of Flowering Resources to the Ecology of the Western Pygmy Possum, Cercartetus concinus, Briony Ruth Horner. For a thesis entitled Defining Peptide Structure with Metathesis, Crystal Chua Chia-Sien. For a thesis entitled Stem Cell and Molecular Investigations Following Focal Cerebral Ischemia, Wei K. Leong. for a thesis entitled Molecular Analysis of Acute and Chronic Duck Hepatitis B Virus, DHBV, Infections in Ducks, Lo Hui Chi. For a thesis entitled Different Mass Spectrometers, Widely Differing Purposes, From Structure Elucidation Tool to Gas Phase Ion Molecule Reactions, Michael John McLean. For a thesis entitled Functional Characterisation of the N-terminal region of holocarboxylase synthetase, Lungisa Maendi. For a thesis entitled Quaternary Climate Change and Podocarpus alatus, Podocarpaceae, Rowan Melick. For a thesis entitled Structure Function Studies and In Silico Drug Discovery Targeting the Liver Oncoprotein Ganchiron, Ian Murchland. Ian also receives a Graduate Certificate in Science and Technology Commercialisation. For a thesis entitled New Peptide-Based Templates Constrained into a Beta Strand by Houston Cycloaddition, Ashok Dattatray Paheri. For a thesis entitled Gene Regulation by Sphingosine Kinase, Yuen Hong Fong Pham. For a thesis entitled Comprehensive Identification and Annotation of Non-Protein Coding Transcriptomes from Vertebrates Indicates Most ncRNAs are Regulatory, Zhiping Ku. For a thesis entitled Cell Biology of the Interaction Between Listeria monocytogenes and Colpoda species, Retish Raghu Nardinen. For a thesis entitled The Physiological Basis for Variable Cadmium Accumulation in Rice, Interaction of Environmental and Genetic Factors, Matthew Scott Rodder. For a thesis entitled Exploring the Structure-Function Relationship of Biotin Protein Ligase from Staphylococcus aureus, Implications for Selective Inhibitor Design, Tatiana Pereira Suarez da Costa. For a thesis entitled What Molecular Time Is It? Using Ancient DNA to Date Evolutionary Events, Julian Subria. For a thesis entitled Analysis of Shigella flexneri Cell Surface Virulence Factors, Tae-Min Young. For a thesis entitled Ancient DNA in the Australian Context Investigating Evolutionary and Ecological Responses to Environmental Change, Vicky Ann Thompson. For a thesis entitled Clonal Proliferation of Hepatocytes During Chronic Hepatitis B Virus Infection, Thomas Tu. For a thesis entitled Aspects of Organoselenium Chemistry, Virginia Ruth Ward. And for a thesis entitled DC Anisotropic Resistivity, Sensitivity and Inversion, Timothy Weezy. To the degree of Master of Philosophy, for a thesis entitled Multi-Particle Baryon Spectroscopy in Lattice Quantum Chromodynamics, Adrian Lee Curatidis. And for a thesis entitled The Influence of Instantons on the Quark Propagator in Lattice Quantum Chromodynamics, Daniel Trewartha. To the Graduate Diploma in Biotechnology, Biomedical, Shao An Ren. To the Honours Degree of Bachelor of Science, Charlotte Grace Allen. Christy Louise Becker. Rebecca Claire Blackwell. Caitlin Ann Brennan. Sorry. Ian Anthony Buxton. Deanna Michelle Carmen. Chongpo Kian. Alexander James Corrick. Melissa Ann Coventry. Millicent Clementine Athney Crow. Michelle Claire Cruikshank. Veronica Heather Zervinsky. Carissa Jane Digans. Rebecca Dunker. Isaac Joseph Ellis. Erin Peter Fagan Jeffries. Courtney Elizabeth Fields. Kerry Louise Foyle. Scott David Gebhardt. Kelly Maxine Gembus. Kayla Louise Gilmore. Kingsley James Griffin. Bradley Thomas Grosser. Elise Jasmine Hampton. Lana Claire Harriott. Taylor Michael Anthony Heath. Elizabeth Edith Hickey. Sophie Elizabeth Hollett. Zach Holman. Paige Courtney Honour. Daniel Peter Howlett. Adam Gregory Humanick. Nick Kalfas. Joel Thomas Kirk. Josie Ann Poipoi Lau. Geraldine Laven Law. Cheng Shu Lee. David William Lemon. Julian Anthony Lockington. Jake Elias McFarlane, Anna Louise Maddox, Sarah Kate Manning, Georgia Mansell, Lewis William Maxwell, Hugh McCall, Kieran Meaney, Alex Nicholas Milich, Jacqueline Rose Morey, Geordie Waite Morgan, Philippa Elizabeth Murray, Mitchell Ryan Neumann, Joel Peter Oryang, Ashley Susan Paparella, Daniel Tyler Pederick, Yana Lelam Tui Fan, Rochelle Marie Piscaneri, Matthew Don Reed, Tess Reynolds, Kate Elizabeth Robertson, Sally Alice Robertson, Caitlin Grace Shear, Brenton David Shoemaker, Farid Shahin, Kelly Ann Sharad, Carl Shelley, Reshvinder Singh, Mitchell Starr Jones, Elise Marie Faraday Swinburne, Sophie J. Trevorrow. Sophie also receives a Bachelor of Teaching and a Bachelor of Science. Stacey Elizabeth Tucker, Michael Wins, Jonathan James Whittle, Michelle Jane Williams, Shinji Wong, Amy Louise Wooldridge, Tian Ki Siu, and Anita Zisk. To the honours degree of Bachelor of Science, High Performance Computational Physics, Finn McInnes-Stokes. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Nicole Evelyn Allen. James Robert Badams. Amelia Lachelle Beamish. Amelia also receives a Bachelor of Arts. Donna Jean Belder. Jasper David Bird. Lauren Anna Blacksell. Emma Kay Bloomfield. Madeline Jane Borman. Emily Lynn Button. Paul Graham Carney. Robin Jade Clifford. Dennis John Conway. Emily Laura Corrick. Emily also receives a Bachelor of Arts. Alexandra Caitlin Evans. Richard Thomas Fernie. Zoe Finch. Zoe also receives a Bachelor of Teaching. Claire Elaine Flint. Geraldine Rosanna Foreman. Geraldine also receives an honours degree, Bachelor of Music Performance. Jade Alana Francie. Stephanie Lavinia Gilbert. Michael Joel Gratz. Troy Adam Granger. Sophia Alice Griffith. Candice Joy Grubb. Emma Ashley Hall. David Alexander Hamilton Smith. Stephen Maximilian Hazenor. William John Heaslip. Emily Kate Heatley. Edward David Heitman. Sophia Hentosh. Emma Wilhelmina Lee Hutchinson. Alex Jansen, Nicholas John Jeffrey, Claire Marie Kenefick, Lucy Rose Kennewell, James David Comenza, Augusta Lane. Augusta also receives a Bachelor of Engineering with honours. Catherine Elizabeth Lang, Alex James Laratro, Louis Dylan Leinard, Lucas Troy Lubachik. Lucas also receives a Bachelor of Engineering. Jessica Natalia Wofchuk, Anne Camille Marie McAdam, Freya Olivia McDougall, Duncan Robert Mackenzie, Nadia Helene Meakin, Hayley Jane Merigo, Stephen Lawrence Mew, Catherine Ann Moore, William John Morfitt, Tristan Dylan O'Brien. Tristan also receives a Diploma in Languages. Alan Jeffrey Ertel, Luke Charlton Petito, Kamal Pudell, Dhiren Deepak Rabadia, Emma Louise May Radford, Joseph Rugari, Joshua David Ryan, Joshua Matthew Sage, Anna Jessie Sarandis, Catherine Louise Schroeder, William Michael Schultz, Jordan Patrick Sheehan, Shannon Ray Siemens, Kimberly Ann Solly, Sonia Katerina Surais. David Wesley Telfer. David also receives a Diploma in Languages. Sam Thompson. Sam also receives a Bachelor of Engineering with honours. Anthony Peter Varvunas. Jonathan Robert Veal. Jonathan also receives a Bachelor of Engineering with honours. Kai Wang. Keith Thomas Weatherly. Phoebe Kate Weir. Nicole Marie Williams. And Wendo Young. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Biomedical Science, Aaron Ong Yun Tian. Mitchell Aidan Ackland. Zuliza Ahmed. Ahmed K. Al-Hussein. Amelia Tan Jia Yi. Brenna Andrews. Paul James Baker. Stephanie Louise Begg. Megan Glennis Blees. Russell William Byrne. Alicia Chenoweth. Alicia also receives a Diploma in Languages. Jin Hung Chu. Su Ji Chua. Hilary Simone Dorwood. Jun Chuen Fock. Danielle Lucy Fornerino. Yu Huang Guo. Kelsey Amber Ireland. Harshani Pradeepa Kumari Jayasinghe Padiji. Chloe Alice Jones. Michelle Janajo. Ho Yin Lau. Sam Mun Lee. Yong Hoi Lee. Rebecca Jane Lehman. Shi Chin Lim. Xin Liu. Petty Manor. Makatiro Ghislaine Massavuli. Andrew David Mason. Ching Moe. Mohammed Latif Muradi. Natalie Jeanette Nataran. Chunji Ng. Fang Ting Pan. Oliver Hall Puchkovsky. Priyatharsini Puvanathan. Claire Marie Reichstein. Bianca Hyler Schumann. Hoi Chung Xiu. Mabel Wan E. Sim. Ryan Smith. Sophia Ma Ying Yi. Siu Mei Tan. Xuan Hong Tan. Caitlin Alinda Tepper. Caitlin also receives a diploma in languages. Yun Wang. Paulina Wilk. And Ryan James Seppel. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Biotechnology, Murray Kelvin George Jackson. Nurul Aminina Moed Zaidi. and Nai T Nok Tran. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Ecochemistry, Andrew Kenneth Best. And Stephanie Lee Hodby. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Jurisprudence, Jake Charles Parker. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Molecular and Drug Design, Sarah Nicoletta Clark. Wai Ming Hon. And Hugh Chun Lam. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Molecular Biology, Ankit Kumar Dutta. Jessica Wolford Faulkner. Daniel Bruce Hall. And Irani Kate Nedjveski. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Nanoscience and Materials, Simon John Blackett. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Optics and Photonics, Carly Ann Whittaker. To the degree of Bachelor of Science, Space Science and Astrophysics, James Chwek Heng Lau. Fong Hoi Nguyen. Fiorina Piantadossi. And Patrick van Bodegom. It is with great sadness that I now ask you to take a moment to remember Ka Mun Lu, who was tragically killed in a motor vehicle accident at Easter. Carmen had just commenced the Bachelor of Dental Surgery program and was due to be presented with the Bachelor of Science, Biomedical Sciences at today's ceremony. Her family elected to receive her degree posthumously and were proud that the testament certifying her degree was able to be displayed at her funeral service in Adelaide less than 2 weeks ago. Our thoughts are with her family and especially her friends and fellow graduates at this difficult time.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank the mace bearer, Duncan McKenzie, and the musicians and the singer, Nicholas Coxill, and all staff and student volunteers who assisted in the organisation and running of this morning's ceremony. I invite you all now to light refreshments in the Eclipse function room on level 4 of the Union Building on the lower level of the campus. There is good signage out here on the lawns to guide you there. You will also find there and in Hub Central photographers, framing and other merchandising opportunities. A great pleasure in congratulating all graduates here today. It is really a very special day for all of us, for you and for the university. And as graduates, you are now all its alumni and its ambassadors. So we have expectations of you. We want to keep seeing you and we want to keep you in touch. Over the years since the University of Adelaide was established, its alumni have made an enormous contribution to the community, both here in Adelaide, in Australia, and in many places throughout the world. You all have a stake in this great institution now, because the qualifications it has given you and your experiences while here are yours for life. Your knowledge, friendship, active participation and interest in the university's ongoing development are very important to its continuing reputation and strength. So, stay in touch with us via the online community, Adelaide Online. You will receive your login details and a membership card over the next few weeks. So congratulations again to all of you. I ask the graduates to remain seated and the audience to stand and join me in congratulating them all on their achievements. Would you all mind remaining standing, please, and the graduates to stand as well for the academic procession. The VIP guests will follow the procession and then the graduates will follow them. I now declare this congregation of the University of Adelaide adjourned.